All right, what's back on the Bossman show here from the show, Ross Hodge, North Texas Mean Reality, the American. Coach, good to talk to you again. How things down there in Denton today, man?
Man, it's beautiful down here today, man. 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Hard to complain, man, for February.
I hear that, man. I'm gonna ask you, Coach, man. You having a good year so far, 22 games in, 16-6, and you've been in every game this season, even the ones that you didn't go to where you wanted to go, but you've been in all 22 of your games. So what does that say about your team and your staff and your program that in all 22 games, your team could have had a chance in all of them?
Yeah, man. Again, gotta give our staff a ton of credit, man. This time period in college hoops, with the portal and we lost some great players off last year's team, but our staff did an incredible job. Johnny Estelle, Phil Forte, Jace Hurl, Andre Shaw, Mike Randall. Did a great job just identifying, players that we feel like fit us, man, and fit our culture and, had experience winning at other places. And then it was just like kind of figuring out how we were going to win together, and it's been a great group. They really love playing for each other, playing with each other. They support each other at a high level. And they got a lot of fight and a lot of grit. And like you said, man, they've given us a chance um, to win just about every night, man.
No doubt. And like I said, I know you had a tough road trip here, some tight games there, but how do you use this now with it being February, 9 games left in the regular season to kind of coach these things in the late game scenarios at clutch time, making sure that we're having the same discipline with the game plan, the scout late as we do early, so we don't come out wrong in any of these games on the road in our tough league.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, man, there's some areas over the course of the game that you look at that you could have done better to not put yourself in situations to be in, one possession games. Now when you're playing great teams, as we know, um, which we did in the non-league, at McNeese State, Utah State in a neutral floor. Man, those are wars, man, and those games are going to come down to a play here and a play there. But in some of these other games, we've dug ourselves a little bit of a hole, and we've had to spend a lot of energy fighting back. And so I think it's just like all of us, just trying to find ways to get better. Get better. You still have a lot of time left. It's not like you're counting down the days or like this is what our team is, or even as a player, like, oh, this is just what this player is. I think you got to keep trying to find little ways to get better as individuals, get better as a team, and keep trying to find ways to reinvent yourself.
No doubt, and I think that's very key. You said that, Coach Hodge, man, because sometimes in basketball, even with us with the Hawks here, sometimes we get doing what we do in our concepts. We have to kind of self scout, reevaluate, and put some wrinkles in there because guys are calling out our stuff and know what we're doing. So yeah, let's talk about that, people with your staff, kind of that self scout piece to kind of reinvent yourself on the go, so you don't get to the point where teams is just running the actions for you on defense
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. No, you just got to kind of, like I said, man, you got to be able to evolve, continuously figure out how you can put your better players in position to be successful, knowing that as the year goes on, people are going to start trying to not let your better players be successful and kind of playing off them and playing together and playing with, a sense of confidence and not losing your fundamentals. I mean, as simple as it sounds, I think you can neglect your own fundamentals because you don't practice as long anymore. Time period that you're actually going to be out there on the floor is a lot shorter. And, basketball in a lot of ways can be a simple game still, just putting two hands on the ball, catching the ball with two hands, passing the ball with two hands, blocking out, rebounding, getting back in transition defense, and just not neglect kind of like the core tenets of what you feel like helps you be successful.
100%. You've done a great job at home, coach. 11-1. Talk about how important it is in a tough league like the American, the tough league that you're in, to make sure you win those home games and then try to steal those ones on the road wherever you can.
Yeah, it's a lot of great teams in the American, a lot of great coaches, a lot of tough venues. And like I said, we do have an experienced team. They've played a lot of basketball. So you do have to, you got to protect home, man. And I think our guys understood that. They take pride in it. Again, UTSA came in here last Saturday and did a really good job, and we didn't play well enough to win, and they got us. But I know we're looking forward to our upcoming home games and trying to take care of business here at the pit.
And also, Coach, man, I'll talk about this, man. You kind of mentioned it, the competitive non-league play that you did, trying to see different styles, knowing that you're in such a great conference, guys play differently, and just talk about the different styles that you saw in the non-league play. So now this time of year, you guys have seen all these different actions teams run already. You can refer back to them, so it helps you with preparation with your assistant coaches and with the scouts, so guys can really lock in. So I've already seen this before. It's not foreign to me what these we've seen already in non-league.
Yeah, I mean, man, looked at yeah, he played went and played a really, tough Minnesota team on the road, tough physical Big Ten opponent. Then you played against like McNeese at home, which nobody wants to go do that. I don't know why we did it, but we had to because we couldn't find anybody else to play us. But and Coach Wade does such a good job with them with their switching defense, man to man, and then a team like Utah State runs the matchup zone that's really tough to prepare for. But, like I said, it helps prepare you for like a team that we play on Saturday, which is Tulane. They run the matchup zone. So you do have all these kind of like point of references along the way that you can point back to. And in my opinion, that helps you grow, even though we took a couple tough losses, lost at McNeese, lost at High Point, lost in Disney World to Utah State. You find out about yourself, and you can at times you can go schedule a really easy non-league and maybe you have this incredible shiny record, but you don't know exactly who you are because you haven't been challenged in that manner. And we've never been afraid to schedule difficult in the non-league, and we think it helps us grow.
No doubt. And you're doing a good job of sharing the basketball. You actually got a couple guys double figures, but some guys right below that. So about how important it is for your guys to share the sugar per se, making do having the right reads and not playing hero ball per se. Just let the defense dictate what you do and play it that way and trust your teammates.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot, man. We want to be as aggressive as we can, but just make the simple play at the end. You can't play the game sideways. You do have to go north and south. And then it just becomes about, again, making a good decision, making a simple play, making the right rim read, trusting your teammates, trusting the pass, and not trying to make it too difficult, when you get down in there.
No doubt for sure, man. Y'all should shooting the ball from three, or 36% from downtown, which allows you to space the floor as well, open up more lanes, kind of attack those slots and those drives and force defense to determine where they're going to collapse on you. You can get them in rotation and get you another open shot, a good to great shot. Talk about how important it is for you guys to shoot well from three to place, put defenses in conflict so they can have to be in rotation and let you guys get even better looking shots there.
Yeah, we kind of call those like those gun shots, like the gun that everybody practices on that just spits it right to you. We try to generate those with paint touches, and we shared a study with our guys early in the season that a buddy of mine shared with me. Jeff Linder, who's the associate head coach at Texas Tech now and does a great job with their offense. He shared some stats, even in the NBA, like no paint touch shots. Even the best players on the planet, they only shoot like 32%. And then if it was one paint touch, it shot up to like 60%. And then if you get multiple paint touches in the same possession, it shot to like 75%. So we do have good shooters, and we feel really good about when we're shooting the right ones that they have a high probability to go in.
100%, coach, 100%. And also I know while looking at the stats here, man, you're done great rebounding the ball. Talk about how important it is offensively to craft your glass with the ones who you send and in your rebounding schemes on that end of the floor. Also defensively, getting the rebounds so you can get out in transition, push the pace that way a little bit because throwing the ball off the court to get easy shots in your early offense, so the defense can't be set against you and get those gun shots that you're looking for as well.
Yeah, I mean, you don't start on offense until you get the rebound. So you got to secure the rebound. We put a big emphasis on our guards rebounding. We feel like, when our guards rebound, that's when you can get out and play with some pace. And then, defensively, I think a lot of rebounding starts with your ability to guard the basketball. If you can keep the ball in front of you and kind of keep your shell intact and make sure you're contesting, you should have really good blockout areas. When you get in rotations and you're scrambling around the whole time, that's where it feels like it gets a little harder to me to, secure the rebound. So, got to keep the ball in front of you, got to keep it out of the paint. And then when the shot goes up, you got to find somebody to put a body on them and rebound the ball with two hands.
And I see you doing a great job with turnovers as well on 11 the game, so evaluating the ball. So talk about how important is it for your team to really have that ball and have value with the right one. Because as my father would say, who was a former coach, Coach Hodge, is that you got the whole organization in your hand when the ball's in your hand. So you got to value that thing and not throw it up. Throw it away, throw it in the stands. That's how I'm supposed to how live ball turnover so we can get our defense set.
Exactly. Some just let us get our defense set. Now you're exactly right, and it's something that we've done really well over the course of the year. Ironically, we haven't done it as well our last two games, and I think that's a big part in the result and why we lost those two games. In our seven conference wins, we averaged 9 turnovers a game. In our three losses, we're averaging about 15. So those 6 extra possessions are huge, especially when you're playing tight one possession games. And we've got good players, good guards, and like you mentioned earlier, as a coaching staff, we just got to keep putting our guys in good positions where they have the confidence to make the simple play and not feel like they got to make too big of a play on their own.
No doubt. And I think having an older roster too, where guys have played basketball like you have, they're not as shaken per se by different defenses they see because a young guy's thinking too much. And once you play and seen different things, you don't think as much. So having an older roster as you do, and as the season gets later and later, I think it's a benefit to you. And I think they will correct that problem and not have those issues of turnovers and go back to the nine more so than 15.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. And a lot of it is, with the character in the group. We got a high character group. They really care about each other. They care about winning. And so they've they want to do the right thing, man. They're people pleasers. They want to do what you ask. It's an imperfect game, but you got to have perfect intentions, and I think our guys do have really good intentions.
And Coach, I want to get you to kind of look ahead and preview who you got. You got two guys I know very well coming up this week. Ron Hunter and Rob Lanier Rice there. So Coach Hunter plays at zone these places. He's IUPUI. Coach Lanier's on tough man to man. So having that contrast in styles between both of them. But talk about that, man. Those battles with Hunter and Rice this week of these two young guys I know very well from that time here at Georgia State.
Yeah, two guys that I have a ton of respect for, man. Having an immense amount of respect for Coach Hunter and everything that he's done in the game. Over 500 wins, done an incredible job at Tulane since he's been there. Done an incredible job with this roster, man, and they've just continued to get better. They Right now, they have the second best defensive efficiency in our league. Memphis is one, they're two, we're three. So they make it hard on you. They got good length. They're playing really hard. They're playing really together, and it's going to be a challenge for sure. And then if you look at what Coach Lanier's been able to do with that Rice program in year one, again, took over already won more games than they did last year at this point in the season, and they've been in every game too. They've had a tough stretch here in league, which everybody's going to go through one, and they've kind of had that tough stretch, but they've given themselves a chance to win just about every single night. They got a big win last night, and yeah, we know both these games are going to be extremely difficult.
That's one for your coach. I know it's as a competitor, how fun is it to have this race at the top of the American for as to get his regular season crown? Because I know it's a competitor, you want to win every game, and it's fun to compete against other great teams. But how cool is it for you and your team to know if we just do the right things day by day, one sit better. This was a race free, and it'll take care of itself, and we'll get that crown for the season.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Just kind of try to stay in the moment. Try to control what you can control. Try to look what's right in front of you, not try to figure too much out down the road. There's still a lot of hoops left, still a lot of games. And just try to, like we did today, just try to come out and practice and try to get a little bit better. try to find ways to keep improving, keep attacking. Um, while trying to maintain some health, which is always the balance this time of year, and again, really thankful to be in the American, really thankful to be part of this great conference and with great teams, and like I said, every night out, man, it's just there's only a couple possessions that are separating everybody.
No doubt. It's always fun to watch American basketball for sure. And Coach Hodge, I hope we're talking again in March after you won that tournament, man. And we can talk about it and reflect a little bit before you go to that big one.
Thank you, man. I always enjoy doing this, man. You're the best. Appreciate all you do for college basketball, and just really thankful to be on with you, man.
Same here, Coach. I was fun to talk to you as well, my brother.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right, man.